Welcome back. You know, it seems to go by so fast. 1 minute they're learning to walk, the next they're all grown up and moving out, going to college. In fact, college move-ins just finished for many students, leaving some parents with their own new challenge. And that's an empty nest. Joining us now is Kim Muench. She's a certified parenting coach and the founder of Real Life Parent Guide. Good morning, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. So I'm glad to have you back as well. Now, you just dropped off your last child.
Yes.
To college.
Yes. My
so now you're
of 5.
really dealing with empty nest syndrome. What exactly is it?
Well, that's the period of time after you're not actively, parenting every day the way that you were for 20 years, right? And I have had 5 kids. My oldest is 36 today.
Is this your daughter here?
Yes, and my middle son. Yes, so I have 4 boys and a girl, and she was moving in, and the boys came and helped and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay, so we know what empty nest is, but is it really a stage or maybe a transition for parents?
I think it's a transition, and I think it comes in phases. Like if for example, college. I know that my youngest 2 who are in college are going to come back, for holidays, for summers. So it's not like it all done deal, right? So college can be a step into what really is empty nest, where they're independent living. They've found their big career and they're moving out. So I think for parents, this is it's a hard time with a lot of emotions. Just like when you start by, and you have a baby, this is another chapter like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. How do parents typically react? Because I was telling you, I remember going off to college, and I feel like my mom was kind of mean to me. And I was like, Mom, what's going on here? But I guess she was dealing with, the feeling of being an empty nester.
I would say, a lot of different feelings. Grief, certainly sometimes loneliness. But there's a lot of parents that are very excited about this phase. And I think that's where we need to focus. And I think where my husband and I will be focusing is on all of the things, all of the ways that we can grow together and grow individually.
Right.
I love coaching parents. And I got into that several years ago. And I mean, motherhood is really important to me, has been for years. And so I'm taking that passion of mine and now helping other mothers. So I feel a sense of purpose. So I think that's what parents in this phase need to do, is really invest in themselves, invest in their relationships, find themselves, because you can get lost in motherhood for, many years.
Can. And I like that. I feel like that's a way that parents can cope. I mean, are there any other challenges to this?
Well, a quiet house, I would say. And then the transition that parents have when their young people do come home again. It's like you get used to it, and then all of a sudden they might be home for the holidays, or they might be home, and that is a whole different dynamic. Keeping the lines of communication open with your young adults is really important as well for parents, and they might struggle with that too.
You're right. Before we go here, Kim, how can parents maintain, I guess, a healthy and supportive relationship with their children once they leave?
I gotta say, you've got to really allow them to be who they are rather than who you want or need them to be. And when you can meet them where they're at, you will be able to create open communication. Maybe not as often as you want. Keep the expectations low, I think, honestly, and focus on yourself, and that relationship will develop.
Man, great tips there. Great advice, Kim. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daybreak. Great advice, great information as always, and we'll put that on our website at WFA.com. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here.